Hold up, I've broke something. Right, we're there? We're there. I thought I broke something then. Well, technically I did. Right, bear with me. Right, here's my Christmas music. I hate using this streaming soft. That was loud. We have a Christmas bar open. So, Mike James, thank you for the £2. Get those balls on, Beardy. Let's go. Fuck yeah. So we're going to have some guests in tonight once I've done the participants. So I don't have any stream buttons as normal, because we're going to be on a few drinky poos. We got some guests. Some wonderful guests. I asked Mark from Dead Cold, but he's already shit-faced. Dudorius Ash, welcome to your first stream. Kathy Lee made it live. Let's go. Right, so I'll do the participants in a couple of seconds. Let a few more people get... Oh, there's already 214 in. So I shall... Who's that? Oh, Standoff. So I'll do the participants, and then we'll get the first guest in. 2Play Paranormal, thank you for the $4.99. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. We'll add another bauble to the beard. You can have a big bauble. We'll add a big bauble. And then I'll do the participants quick. And then we'll get some guests on. Some guests that have had a few little drinky poos today. Haven't they, Dandalf? Right. Thank you for the $4.99. I appreciate you. Right, tonight we have the Paranormal Monkey Podcast, 2Ply Paranormal, A. Wakefield, the Thai Lady Boy, Adam WBA, Ali Oop, Amy and Ozzy, Andrew B, Andrew Hills, Anita Drake, Anna Banana, Anne Robinson, You Are the Weakest Link Goodbye, Aurelis ESP, Andrix Blue, AV Stevie, Belfast Crafty Nick, Bean Sawyer, Big Dan, Big Mark. Big Dan, how are you doing? Blissful Moonrise, Blue Sky Lissa, Bob Knox, Bob the Beard, Bucky 1961, Brian Reinhardt, Burgundy but Rose Bunny, CW Scottish Highlands. Jesus Christ, could you pick a longer name? Carry on, Catherine Lawrence, Kaz Scarlett, Shellfall and Angel Cherry Fizz, Chris Yule, Chris 52, Christine Bissett, Claire Davey, Consequest Paranormal, Craig Adams, Crimson Fucker. How'd you get away with that? CRL, how you doing? Cynthia Boss, Bossy Boss Bass, Daniel Green, Denise Flood, Darth Brew, Dawn C, Dawn Emery, Dawn of the Dead, Dawn Marie, don't you give me that stink eye. Dawson Toller, how are you? Dixie, Doomed Lottie, Dragon Ranger, Dubious Ash, Ember, Entity 7, Joe Vitali. I can't see the chat. What a dick. Entity 7, thank you for the $4.99. Sorry, for the $199. The dollary doodly things. Right, mods. Keep an eye on me missing any donos or anything, because I'm a dick. Dragon Ranger, read that. Ember, Entity 7, Joe Vitali, Giselle L, Glasgow Ghost Hunters, Grimsoul Taker, Irene Jacobson, Jamie Watson, Jenny J, John Tennant, John Boy Patton, Julie N, Carl McGowan, Catherine Ransom, Kathy, Katie W, Kaz Bex, Kells, Leanne, Lewis Richardson, Lionheart, Listening Fat Shehaim, Loretta Mooney, Luna Moon, Mad Hatter, Mammoth's Awakening, Mark Knight, Martin Weller, Megan Helm, Blue Eyes, Mike James, Mike's Mysteries, Mickey247, Monique D, Mrs. Geek, Mystic, Mimo, Nancy, One Annalise, Overfiend, Mrs. Geek, the Beautiful Wife, I said that, PNC Paranormal, Peregrine F1, Pomp, Raven, Rebecca Fist, Nikki, Robert Hennelly, Cynthia Bose for the 11 months, get another bauble in the beard. So these other guys joining me are going to be carrying me. Pentaxestein, thank you for the $10. Thank you very, very much. Ah, shit, I've lost where I was. Pentaxestein, Pinky, Pomp, Raven, Rebecca Visnicki, Remy Smith, Robert Henley, Roger Bowen, RS Paranormal, S. Fitzy, Campfire Chill, Sarah Bowman, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, Simon Wilkinson, Span, Stephen Power, Susan Holmby, Tammy Momo, Twins, Tan, the Williams Ziz, the Stacey Says, Walking the Weird, Wayne Dawson, Wanderer, and the World of Mr. Grey. John Boy Patton, thank you for the super sticker, $1.99 to the bauble. Dudorius Ash, thank you for this. It's got membership. Right, let's get these baubles in. And Blue Waffle Boy. Did I say that loud? Did I say Blue Waffle Boy loud? Hey, Mr. Grey's got a nice living room. Very nice living room. Mr. Rogers during the day. He's a fucking fiend when he goes on other people's channels. Right, so let's get we'll get Jeff in first, because Mr. Grey seems to be AFK. Add to the stage. You all right there, Jeff?
Hey, how's it going? You've got quite the ritual that you have to do before you get started. All the balls in your face and shouting out all the names.
I guess I think that the hardest one was when we had Jason Halls on and I had to read 500 and something.
Yep. How many people joined that show?
It was close to 1,000, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, sorry, I've missed a super there. The Williamses, thank you for the £2. I appreciate you. Bob Knox, thank you for the £20. Thank you, Beto Skid, for all of 2024. I appreciate you, Bob. Thank you very, very much. So, guys, there's no set plan. I just wanted to get some guests on, some familiar faces through the year. It's obviously nice to get Jeff on. Helena, thank you for the 5 gifted. Lovely, lovely lady. I appreciate you. I hope your mum as well. So we'll have some guests maybe joining us through the evening. If you've got questions for the guests, by all means, but let's keep it lighthearted for a change. So, like recent dramas and stuff, leave them off the table. Let's just have a good little get together before Christmas and all of the craziness of the festive period.
I agree.
Mr. Badger, thank you for the 2. Martin Weller, thank you for the 5. What are you drinking there? What are you drinking there, Jeff?
I've got a rum and coke in honor of being on Beardo's show.
Let's go. Love a rum and coke, me.
Yep. It's a little early here, but screw it. It's Friday.
It is. It's Friday. It's Christmas, and we seem to have matching trees.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day.
Mine's I don't know if you can tell, but I stored in the garage over the summer under my motorbike.
Yep. Yeah, Dana had to. I don't know. I forgot. It was probably the first stream we did in December. She's like, "We got to have a Christmas tree," so she pulled that out of somewhere.
Yeah, I love that nun painting behind you.
Yeah, that was done by BJ Stockland. He kind of hangs around in the paranormal stuff. Paranormal Rooster is what he goes by on YouTube.
All right.
So. Yeah, he does custom paintings for people if anybody's interested.
Right, we've got hopefully a very drunk Dandalf. He might not be drunk. He probably stopped drinking and then started eating. Welcome in, Dandalf the Grey. Sorry, Dan. He's eating. Don't spit it.
I don't know what that background is.
Looks like you moved.
That's a very nice living room you got there, Dan, of the McFluffy kind. Look at Dan's living room.
I think I got the same one, actually.
No idea what I've done.
I don't even know how you do it. It's not a fake living room, Brian Reinhardt. Stop debunking the debunkers.
Hang on. Hey, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Hello, everyone.
Random background activated. Absolutely. Mr. Grease in his fantasy world again. I mean, he's wore a shirt and everything.
Yeah, I spruced up for this one. Started eating mine. So.
Crimson, thank you for the 11 months. I appreciate you adding in the bauble to the beard. Unfortunately, these pair don't have. Well, they kind of got beards.
No, not even.
What do you mean, kind of?
I mean, it's stubble, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
By my standards.
Peach fuzz. Although I did make it into the top 10 beard list. The paranormal.
You did, yeah.
Yes, I did.
Where was I on this list?
You were in there.
You were in there.
Yeah,
where?
You were definitely higher than me.
I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know.
You were in
apparently, I was like 6th or 7th on the sexiest debunker or some shit.
I was angry for you, Dandalf.
Yeah, I haven't seen it and I'm bloody angry.
Sat there like I'm sexier than Dandalf. Let's go. I don't need to go to the gym. I just need to be popular. Nicola Proctor, thank you for the 12. Chat is coming up, Jeff. It's not on my PC.
I've
so
sorry.
Yeah. You carry on, Dan. If you want to jump back into the green room while you eat, or eat on streams, up to you.
I'll be back now.
All right, no worries. There you go.
Has he been eating this whole time, you think?
Probably. He's trying to absorb all of the Baileys he drunk.
Yep.
Well, he didn't drink much, but Dandalf stopped drinking early last year. And I knocked it on the head after about 3 or 4 months. Mm-hmm. Dandalf, fair play to him. He's like, I'm not going to the pub anymore. I'm not drinking. I think he drank alcohol-free Guinness one night.
Gotcha.
Never tried it. Looks nice. Dan, I want to see a Tennessee whiskey. Oh, yeah, Dandalf had Jack Daniels, didn't he?
Oh, he did. Oof. That's one thing I can't drink anymore. I had a bad experience with Jack Daniels.
We've all had a bad experience with Jack Daniels.
Yeah, he almost killed me.
The first time I ever drank it, I was 17,
Mhm.
and I was just going drink for drink with this guy's. Oh, it was a woman I worked with, but her husband came out to the works do, and I was just trying to show off as a 17-year-old does, and proceeded to throw up all over the table, the ashtrays, because you could still smoke in pubs then, and yeah, got us thrown out.
Yep. Yeah, I almost got killed. We were at a Christmas party, and it was at a hotel. And at one point, I went back. They cut me off at the bar, which I shouldn't have been drinking in anyway because I wasn't even 21 yet. So they cut me off, and I was going back to the room to hit the bottle I had of it. And man, I remember just bouncing off the walls like a ping pong ball, just the whole way down the hallway to get to the room. Not good.
Chat, I hope you've got your drinks ready. Megan's on a JD and Coke. I'm sure somebody's just said they're on JD. Santa hat on the nun is an iconic background that I really dig.
We had to make her festive.
Why not? You love 50 Shades of Grey, but it was vanilla. What? Megan, we are not going down the perverted route tonight. Control yourself. Your edibles are kicking in. Does that count? Yes, CRL. Edibles count. Mrs. Geek Ping Pong's after drinking too much, as she's just said in chat. We've seen her bounce down the hallway to get to the bedroom a few times, or take out like a cloves era full of clothing. We went out last week for my nephew's 18th and his sister. There's a cabinet over there with all my He-Man and Masters of the Universe and Sons of Anarchy stuff. My brother-in-law walked in like, "Where's this go?" All of it in his arms, so she cleaned the shelves out.
Oh shoot!
And don't worry about swearing on this channel, so I don't monetize my streams.
Yeah, we don't either. I'd never get.
So how many
2 hours without swearing.
did you see any of the Side Eye guys live this morning?
I saw very little bit because I listened at work for like 30 minutes. They were trying to come up with a song to sing.
He was so drunk.
Yes. And he got drunk quick. Like he was talking about buzzing, within the first 20 minutes of it. I was like, damn.
Yeah, 38 minutes in, he'd done half a bottle of whiskey, and he was drinking beer to wash the whiskey down with.
Probably didn't eat first, or but yeah. His drunk streams are funny.
I think Seg might actually miss his flight on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Yep. And Allison and Keg, they're always funny when he has them on too. They crack me up.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to go and taxi the in-laws around when they came on. I love Cag and Allison. They're so nice.
Yep.
Penderyn Myth Whiskey. I love Penderyn. Christina D. Green, thank you for the membership. Another bauble in the beard. So if you've got any questions for Jeff, guys, so sorry, just in case none of you know who Jeff is, you probably do know after I got Jeff to help me out with something. We're not getting into that because it's a bit, this is a happy stream, but you just want to tell us what you do there, Jeff?
We've investigated homes for quite a few years. That was pretty much what we did. None of it was on YouTube. We didn't, we weren't doing it for videos. I had a channel a long time ago, but we would just put, clips of things, and it was really stupid. So about a year ago, I think, in fact, 2 days from now, it'll be a year that I dropped my first video, because I saw people talking about the Cody and Satori thing, and I was like, I got something to say too. So I dropped a video about that. The video did very good. We went from 40 subs to 2.6K in this year. And a lot of it is because you've shouted me out many times, the shape, So this, I'm not trying to get all sappy, but being on your show, somebody that I look up to, and, I really love your stuff and all that great stuff. So to be on your show is really cool for me. So
because initially, I think, didn't we meet initially through something I'd said about the Warren Foundation that I got wrong? And you corrected me on it.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. I think was probably the first message. But it was funny because when I was in the Warren Foundation, I asked if I could have you on. And they
no.
We were told that you were too controversial. So
I'm sure I respect that. It is. I mean, I've spoken to some people from the Warren Foundation since getting to know you, and they've all been very lovely people.
Yep. Yeah, the bulk of the people in that organization are great. They really are. And
right then, we shall bring Justin back in. So everyone probably knows who Justin is now because he brought in on his Monday stream Kieran O'Keefe, and I fangirled because Dr. Kieran O'Keefe apparently watches my channel and enjoys it. Yeah. So bring Justin in. Good evening. Good evening.
Cheers, everybody.
Hello.
Cheers. So everybody in the chat knows what Justin does. I imagine I promote Justin more than he promotes himself in my stream, which is really hard to do.
It is.
Justin has done some fantastic streams this year. Amazing guests. Cost us a fortune in books because we keep buying them. They're good books. Jimmy, thank you for the 13 months. And I think, Justin, your channel's is it about a year old, this version of...
I only started from nothing in December, end of December last year. So, it's one of those things where when you start from scratch, you just think, I honestly thought I'd be lucky to get like 500 subs by the end of the year. And to kind of, it's done. I'm really pleased, basically, so pleased by it's kind of getting up. I think it's only about another 100 or so to get to 2,000. So yeah, all happy, really.
Awesome. Right, let's get him in. Maybe he's sober.
Justin, real quick, you turned me on to like one of my favorite shows.
Beg your pardon, Jeff?
Well, besides that, I mean, but that Peter Laws that you had on.
Oh yeah.
A couple years ago, I have been binge listening to his YouTube channel since he was on. Like that.
Yeah, Peter Laws. I mean, I think he's that's talk about people doing really well in their channel. I think he started his channel in April.
Oh
yeah,
and then he got to 1,000 subs really quickly. I was like, he's doing really well, 1,000, and now he's just like rocketing. He's got huge views.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's way past me.
Yeah, he's
way past me.
Yeah, he's doing really well as Peter. So yeah.
I left a comment on one of his videos and he was like, I can't believe you just commented on my video. I'm such a fan. And I was like, what?
I forget.
Really?
Who's Peter Laws?
Reverend Peter Laws. He's an author, but he started a YouTube podcast where he reads spooky tales, but he does proper dives into the history. He's a very, very intelligent man.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, he's done some things for Uncanny as well, so he's kind of known for that. And plus, he was a reverend, so he's got that religious aspect. And but yeah, he's a very, very, because he's an author. He's a really good storyteller. He's got really good production. He properly goes into it. He's very, very kind of uncanny like in how he kind of presents it. So yeah, he's done so well.
Yeah, Mr. Green will probably hate it.
What do you mean? What?
Talking about spooky stuff, it's bollocks.
I like spooky stuff.
I know you do. I'm taking the piss.
Just not the bollock stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's been some developments this week. I'm not gonna name the channel until he does
Name
it.
it, you coward.
I can't because I said I won't. But he's changing his content up to say it's for entertainment purposes only. But he's gonna do a channel, quite a large one. But he's going to put a spoken, actually, this is for entertainment purposes, and I have added dramatic effects into my content from now on in.
I'm going to guess.
I'm not going to tell you, even if you guess, you're right.
I'm very impatient, Beardo. You need to tell me at some point.
I'll drop you a message after the stream.
Okay.
So it goes with Instagram. Normally message him, you'll never guess what. I message Mr. Gray things like that, and then Mr. Gray messages me like, do you have to say things like that? Mr. Gray's looked after me. Yes.
I've tried, but you haven't listened to anything I've said.
Well, no, because you gave me such good advice in the beginning, and I ignored it all, and my channel grew so fast.
I know.
I'm like, every time you advise me, I'm going to ignore you.
You ignored every single thing I said.
Not all of it. Not all of it. I mean, I've made up the Casper site.
That is true, yeah.
See?
True. I saw some UFO videos on Casper site videos. You see you reacting to it, and I see them on Twitter.
Right.
They're absolute bollocks. I was going to make a video. I did comment on it. It's like one was a Cylon Raider from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, dear.
And I've seen it all over Twitter.
Yeah, the UFO stuff's getting a bit... It's getting to the point where it's as bad as the paranormal.
Oh, yeah.
It's always been a bit.
I was gonna do like a talk about, like on Monday. So instead of so instead of yesterday, instead of doing this quiz thing, I was going to talk about the UAP stuff around New Jersey, and I just thought, just can't be asked. When everybody's doing it, everybody's doing it, and it's just like, I just can't get myself fired up to talk about UAPs when a lot of it's like Dan Dalf said is bollocks. So it's just like
bollocks.
Wait, 2 seconds. I missed something there. Irish, I was drunk. Thank you for the €2. Who's Tom DeLuide? I don't know. Dan Dalf keeps going on about it. I still don't know.
On the what?
Tom DeLuide or DeLuide?
DeLuide?
Yeah, something like that.
No, Dom DeLuise.
Dom.
Oh, Jesus. Honestly, how does someone who is in their 40s not know who Dom DeLuise is? I bet
I've lived the life,
Justin
Mr. Green.
and Jeff knows who Dom DeLuise is.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Cannonball.
Justin, do you know who it is?
Oh my God, Justin. Jesus Christ. Dom DeLuise was a bloody staple viewing of me growing up as a kid in the 80s and the early 90s, mainly the 80s. And he was in Stargate SG-1, his Cannonball Run.
Oh, he's an actor.
Of course he... Oh my God.
Wait, 2 seconds. You lot carry on. I gotta look this up.
Who
was he in Cannibal Run? Sorry.
He's in Cannibal Run, yeah.
Oh, it's the fat dude from Cannibal Run.
Yes.
Oh.
He did voice work for All the Good Dogs Go to Heaven as well.
Yeah,
All Dogs Go to Heaven.
He was also the ginger cat in Five Will Goes West.
How do you know that?
I love
we're 80s kids.
I'm an 80s kid. I loved that film as a kid.
Everyone loved Fievel.
Yeah, Five Will Goes West.
There are no cats in America, and the streets are filled with cheese. It's weird how some of those things fit in you. So there was a cartoon when I was a kid, and it was something to do with a rat catcher. Sneak in through kids' bedrooms and turn them into rats, and I've never been able to find it. Scared the shit out of me.
Turn them into rats? Isn't that like the Witches of Eastwick? Is it? No, not
No, this was an animated thing, but it was a guy with like bandages on his head and stuff, and then he was like kind of a giant. I don't know. Okay. I remember me and my uncle watching as kids, and it scared the shit out of me. I don't remember nobody that I've asked knows about it or remembers it. So I don't know. Maybe it was just some weird thing on cable. I don't know, but it scared the shit out of me.
I'll have to look it up.
Maybe you dreamt it.
Maybe, but my uncle remembers this. So
okay,
maybe we had a shared dream. You need to watch Five Will Goes West again. Yeah, and then you can watch Fern Gully because that's an awesome film and it's better than that blue shit that James Cameron did.
Five Will Goes West. I used to piss myself laughing at that film, honestly, and it was because of Dom DeLuise. I think he was the funniest character in that film.
Yeah, he was the big ginger cat, wasn't he?
The ginger cat, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. I don't remember details, but I remember that being really popular.
Yeah, because I think Jeff's probably slightly older than us, but we're all around the same age.
That's terrible. I
said slightly.
That is terrible, honestly.
But we're all around the same age, aren't we?
I'm 32 years old.
Are you fuck?
How old? Sorry.
That's older than me.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm 47 to give you guys a kind of point of reference.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought we were closer in age.
No, I am that old.
He does use Just for Men, then.
Oh,
I would never guess that.
Dawn of the Dead, thank you for the $4.99. Let's check another bauble for you. Guys, if you got any questions for the guys that are not like about drama and all that, we'll keep it lighthearted and...
Well, I'll talk drama all day. So
yeah, keep it about drama. Good.
Oh yeah, you pay Will on this channel.
yeah, when it's on my channel, I'll talk all day.
I think Dan Knopf might be in enough trouble if a certain Mr. Moss sees his stream from it.
Oh, really?
He's all right. I've seen his box and he's not that good.
He does a very good impression. Mrs. Geek sat there, she's wrapping Christmas presents, and Dan Knopf does this impression. All I could do was, what?
It's just
I've not heard the impression. You've got to do the impression now to everybody watching.
What could this be in this most haunted hotel?
It was much better earlier.
This is the most paranormal doll we've ever seen. He knows I'm taking a piss.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a sense of humor. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's a little uptight.
Although I never got any backlash for screaming at my doll in my dining room on Halloween. Either he laughed or he's been told by Sky to wind his neck in.
Oh, he's on Amazon now.
Amazon as well, isn't he?
Amazon Prime.
Kaza, thank you for the $20 super sticker. Appreciate you, Kaza. Thank you very, very much. It sounds even better when Dandalf is pissed.
I'm all right now. I'm actually starting to come around. I've had something in my belly. I got proper pissed on my stream earlier with a mug and 3/4 of Baileys. That's a lot of Baileys, by the way.
That is a lot of Baileys.
I don't care what anyone says. That's a fucking shit.
Not only is it a lot of a heavy drink, but you haven't drunk for so long.
No, I haven't drunk. I didn't eat since 12 o'clock earlier when I started drinking. Didn't plan on drinking, so I didn't have like milk in my belly or rice or something.
Well, you did have milk in your belly, technically. It was just laced with alcohol and cocoa. Bring out the gimp. What?
Bring out the gimp.
I don't think Crow Judas is well, I'm afraid.
The gimp sleeping.
I haven't heard any updates about him recently. I hope he's doing okay.
Who, Crow Judas? Yeah, where's he been?
He had problems with his breathing.
Oh, okay.
He got the flu and pneumonia, and he ended up being hospitalised off it.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
And he's fine now. He's on the mend. I've spoken to him a few times because a lot of us got really worried because he deleted his Facebook, and we were all like, "Oh,
really?
Shit!"
Okay.
But he just, I think, because he was living and breathing YouTube, Facebook, Discord, he just burnt out, and the illness as well. So he's taking a break, and good for him. Yeah. Come back stronger and bring out that fucking video. He's got a video. I need him to bring it out. It's so good.
What video is it?
It's a debunking video. No, I can't.
Who?
I'll tell you after.
It's Christmas. It's all about non-secrets.
Yeah, but I can't give other people's stuff away, can I? It's like, yeah, Merry Christmas. By the way, your dad's bought you a PlayStation 2 controller.
Is it about a British person or an American person?
British.
Ooh.
Investigation team.
Shut up, you. Joe Vitalia talked to Crow last night. He's doing good. Thank you very much. There,
I like Crow. He's awesome. Fair play.
He makes me laugh. What do you think?
He was one of the first few like debunkers that reached out to me and said, "Hey, how's it going?" and that kind of stuff. So that was cool.
Yeah, he's been around a long time, Crow, hasn't he?
Yep.
Not as long as old Dandalf there.
No. I think I since talking to Crow, he was actually me and him were about the same time years ago, like.
Because you were what, 6 years?
6 years now, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sheep is 6 or 7 years. Yeah. Crow's around 6 years. Who's I was watching the other day? They'd been at it for 12 years. Kenny Biddle. I found Kenny Biddle's first ever episode on YouTube. If you thought I was nasty, Kenny used to go hard.
Oh, I've been around Kenny. He doesn't hold back. We've with him. He pretty much mocked everything we tried to do.
So we got a question in the chat. What is your most memorable paranormal experience? Well, that's Dandalf out.
Why? Because he's got too many to pick from, or?
Yeah. Jeff, have you had a most memorable paranormal experience?
Yeah, I think the most memorable. We weren't investigating. We weren't, on an investigation. But I woke up one night and I saw a black solid shadow figure walk in front of the TV, and I thought it was my son going to the bathroom because that's what I was. I was getting ready to go to the bathroom. So I'm sitting there waiting for him to get out, and he never came back. So I looked in his bedroom, and sure enough, he's sleeping sound as could be, and he never came back. So I don't know what the hell that was. Can you guys hear my dog? I hope not.
No,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the mailman's in the neighborhood.
All right. Yeah, we had Dina shout as well. Justin, paranormal experience?
Yeah, I know, but I've talked about it so many times. I don't want to bore people because I keep talking. I've talked about it endlessly about 30 East Drive and knocking and banging footsteps and stuff like that. So yeah, 30 East Drive has to be my most memorable just because prior to that, I was a dyed-in-the-wool skeptic of that place. Thought it was an absolute scam. Didn't believe in the place whatsoever, really. And even when little things happen, I still wasn't convinced. And then, for whatever reason, one night it genuinely all kicked off, and I've not been able to debunk it because when you get repeated banging against furniture from within an empty room, and you've got a camera on the landing, so nobody's in there and everybody's accounted for, and it's still banging from within a room, and you put a voice recorder in there. For whatever. So it was a couple of years back now. So it was, for a space. I mean, it only lasted probably all of, I don't know.
This is the best comment I've read all night. And it never came back. Baby Jeff's shadow figure was low key my dad. I'm sorry. Andrew B, first person in, new person in. Welcome in, Andrew B. So, Dan, have you ever had a paranormal experience at all, or something you maybe thought was, and then later?
I've definitely been creeped out by stuff growing up as a kid. Like I've said it many times, as a kid, I was a full-blown believer. I was terrified of ever seeing a ghost at the bottom of my bed. And when I used to sleep in my grandmother's house many years ago as a teenager on the weekends, there was the back bedroom, and it was always freezing cold. And my brother told me he seen a ghost in there, and I don't know if he was telling the truth or he's just saying it because I was sleeping there. But I was terrified to sleep in our house, and I was always catch things at the corner of my eye, and that's about it, really. Like I said, I always put it down to now that I was just tired, and when your muscles relax in your eyes, and that's how stuff happens in the corner of your eye. But I've never, trust me, as a skeptic, I want to see. I've said this all the time. I want to see something.
I see it. Yeah, I see it with everyone I go to 30 East Drive with. That one day I hope somebody invites Standalf and something happens when you're there that just leaves you like.
The problem I have with 30 East Drive, obviously I've been there with the Ouija brothers, right? A couple of years back. And I enjoyed it, great to meet up with the Ouija brothers. But the problem I have with, not the Ouija brothers, the 30 East Drive. I've seen, as you know, I've seen videos of Carol, the next door caretaker, faking stuff.
Yeah.
Now, when I made that video a couple of years back,
thank you, Aunt Banana, for the 5.
The finger flicking of the coin, I found it funny when I said, "Look, that's the caretaker or woman, or whatever," and then people coming back to me and she was doing that to have some fun. If you want to believe that, that's fine, right? But every time someone says they've heard knocks in 30 East Drive, 30 East Drive, for those who don't know, is a terraced house. It's an old miner's house. It's got really thin walls, like most terraced houses in the valleys have as well. It's the same kind of buildings.
Yeah, it's the black mortar stuff, isn't it?
It's the black mortar stuff, yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, I think it's Carol next door knocking on the walls.
You can.
I think.
Honest teams will discount everything from. You can tell the difference when you're there between what's Carol and what's in whatever.
Yeah. Also, what I would like to say as well about 30 East Drive, I have read up countless accounts. I've watched many videos on YouTube about 30 East Drive, not once, and I don't know why it gets the moniker of the most haunted house in the UK. I don't know why it has that. Because I have seen countless videos, I've read countless accounts. Not once have I seen anything which could possibly be, I think that could be something, not once. The only ones I've seen people's stuff happening there with things being thrown is faker teams. That's about it.
Yeah,
and I hate bringing this up because I know people love that bloody place, but I think it's a nothing house myself. I think it's just a standard old 1970s house.
That's the thing, though. Most of the time, it is a nothing house. And the last couple of times I've been there, and I was there this week because Team UK Paranormal Search invited me over there this week. So I was there on, when was it, Tuesday, Wednesday night, for a couple of hours, nothing. And the last couple of times I've been there, nothing at all. And
Thank you, Belfast.
Yeah, so the vast majority of the time, it is nothing.
I just know it's just like if we go in on supposed activity, there's about 10 other houses I could name you which are way more active than 30 East Drive. I don't know why 30 East Drive gets the moniker of the most haunted house in the UK. I have no idea, but I guess.
I think it's more the most violent. It stems from it being the most violent recorded poltergeist stuff.
Yes,
I think it was recorded there. Sorry, I've just got to thank. I missed somebody there, didn't I? Anna Banana, thank you very much for your super. I apologise for missing it.
It's like when we went to the Monroe house, I went with Joe and Kenny, and same thing, that Joe swears to God that things have happened there and this and that and the other thing, but we were there for 2 days and absolutely nothing happened. So kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah.
You know me, man. I'm cynical as shit.
Oh yeah.
So you should expect me to say this stuff.
So is Kenny, and in fact, we did things a lot his way the first night. The second night, I was like, "All right, Kenny, you're going to go to bed earlier. We're going to get the cat balls and spirit boxes out and have some fun." So
see that's the thing with East Drive. There was another occasion when I think I mentioned this when I was talking to Kieran on Monday, but we were there when. And I do, and I put my hand up. I believe it was absolutely genuine because there was 2 knocks on the door in the kitchen, and then opened the door and there was nobody behind it, and that was right in front of Kieran and Steve from the Weege brothers and things like that. But as brilliant as that was, and I've tried to replicate it and reproduce it, because Carol Fieldhouse was in the kitchen, I can't believe it.
Sorry, who was in the kitchen? Sorry,
Carol next door.
Right,
older Carol.
Yeah.
So straight away. Even though I'm pretty certain that was a genuine event, because she was in the kitchen, I've got to negate that for me personally.
You have to. Because the problem is, no matter how you trust people, no matter how friendly you are with people, there's always that chance. There's always that chance that maybe they're like pushing a bit or something, or in unintentionally doing something. It's like that's the problem.
And that's why I wouldn't want that anywhere near the place when I was in there.
Yeah.
Question from Wayne Dawson. What's the best case for haunting you have all heard about? My favourite haunted house story or poltergeist story is the Battersea poltergeist, because it predates all of the others, and you can see where others may have borrowed, and the work that's gone on since with, I think it predated Uncanny. I think the podcast was called something else Ricky and Danny were doing. Just it's like a 9-parter now, I think it is, because they did like extra episodes. Absolutely fantastic, predates everything. And what sold it to me was the interview with people that work in Selfridges, where they're like, we were actually scared of her because scissors were like taken off across the workshop and stuff. And to me, that's my favorite one. Jeff?
I heard one actually a couple days ago. It was the Moffat case. This was on Peter Law's channel. And it's, I'll tell you what, if that's legit, and if somebody in that house wasn't doing all this stuff, there was some crazy stuff that happened in this house. Things being written on the mirrors. The one lady was being like attacked with knives. It never actually stabbed her, but it's crazy stuff happened in that case. There again, it could be somebody in the house messing with everybody else, but it was an odd case.
Justin? I think I know Justin's answer.
Do you? No, I bet you don't. I mean, it's obviously Enfield, but I've been reading about the South Shields poltergeist case. Really, really interesting. Really interesting. But I've also got a soft spot, and I can't remember the name of the place. The soft spot for the haunting where seemingly on a really crappy computer they were getting messages from the Middle Ages. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, he's called Really Haunted, and he's fake as shit.
Do you not hear about that case? It's
amazing. Be a proper case. That cannot
it's amazing. This is in the times before the internet. Amazing. I can't remember the name of the case, but it's
I gotta look this up right now.
It's just superb.
Stand off a quick. What's your?
It's 100%. It's like obviously as an adult, I don't think so now, but I 100% the Enfield haunting. I remember I think I was like 10 or 11 years old, and I bought this ghost book, and I was reading about the Enfield ghost, and it terrified me so much I had to stop reading about it, and I went back to it like a couple of weeks later. And as a kid, I read about it many times over and over. I could tell you everything that you could about the Enfield ghost. It scared the crap out of me. As I grow older, it's not the case now. But for me, it's the Enfield haunting, 100%.
I've never been to Michelin Priory or investigated there. I'd love to.
There was also the Bawley Rectory. I used to have a book on the Bawley Rectory as well. Which
That's what I thought Justin's favourite was going to be.
Yeah, I love reading about the Bawley Rectory.
It is. I mean, I do love the Bawley Rectory case, and it's really interesting when you look into it properly how long it was going on for. Way before Harry Price got involved and stuff. Right, this poltergeist thing, absolutely insane. It's called the what's it called? The Doddleston Messages. Look it up. Doddleston. Doddleston Messages.
I think I've heard of that.
The Doddleston Messages.
Yeah.
Atrix Blue, thank you for the $49.99. Nadolig, Llywyn, Beardo, and Mrs. Geek. Have a great holiday season. Thank you for the great content. I've been a sub on. I've seen you on YouTube for a long time. I appreciate that, Atrix Blue. I know you've been around for a long, long time. I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much, my friend. Michelin Priory, I've never been. Randolph, have you ever been?
No, I haven't. No. There's loads of places I'd love to go one day, but no, unfortunately not.
What is that? I think it's called Pendle Hill or something.
Pendle Hill, yeah. Pendle Hill is the old witch trials.
Witch trials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to do Pendle Hill, not while
knackering if you actually do Pendle Hill.
In fact, the very first ever video I ever saw of the Ouija Brothers was the Ouija Brothers and Dead Cold Paranormal getting lost on Pendle Hill. It was hilarious.
It's great.
That's how I first found the Ouija Brothers. It was brilliant.
See, before they went off with Dead Cold, they went with me and Dale from Paranormal Truth, and we did the same thing, and then. It was just ridiculous. It was just there were so many odd things that was going on. Nothing paranormal. Because it was like Steve was getting random phone calls from porn sites, and
I'm sure that's not paranormal.
I know, right? And we had
says the guy that gets Love Honey adverts.
That's different.
Justin, you ever been to Michelin Priory?
No, never have. Never done Michelin Priory. There's a few around the UK I'd love to go to, but not been everywhere, but not been there. No.
Well, Annalise, I did add a ball on for the $49.99. That's off the tree. Can't put that one on. Thank you for the two. Well, Annalise, I've been putting them on while I'm seeing them, but without trying to interrupt people talking.
Yeah, well, Carl McGowan says, but most haunted done 3 episodes of Where I Live. They also done. That's what I know of the Michelin Priory when Most Haunted went there 3 times. I really enjoyed those episodes.
Justin's been put on the spot.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Mrs. Geek.
No, actually, I was going to ask that. Then, are they buying a place in Pendle Hill, or are they just doing an investigation?
As far as I know, because I'm not entirely sure, I think that they've basically done a deal with a farm building, I believe this farm building was part of a Most Haunted episode when they went to Pendle. They did one of their live shows. They've obviously done a deal with the owners. I don't think they've bought it just to kind of hire it out, and they've got a place. Now, the only thing with where they've got, which is, good, in terms of the Pendle Hill story, they're in the right place.
JNL, thank you for the $20. It's going to be a place for Mr. Geek and finally experience something. My house. Some said for Kenny Biddle, though, my husband passed away. I want to believe. If you guys haven't seen something, I don't know what to believe. I mean, I've seen something. Justin has seen something. Jeff has had a few experiences, as far as I remember, from the few conversations we've had.
Yep.
Don't lose hope in it. Just because some of us are misery.
By the way, can I, before Justin gets on with his story, sorry, I should say that because I have people say to me, because of this video, and now I don't believe. Don't take my word for it. I'm just going on my experience, my opinions. Don't lose hope in that kind of stuff. I'm not saying I'm right. And my stuff has always been on videos. I just like to state that.
Yeah.
So
I think we both make a point of saying we debunk videos, not people, not the
I'll give my
paranormal.
opinion on stuff, no problem. It doesn't mean I'm right.
Somebody puts something up that says, "Can you debunk this?" and then they send me footage of the ghost on a Ring doorbell camera, then yeah, I can debunk that.
Yeah.
Can I carry on?
Yeah, sorry, Justin.
Yeah. It's only I'm only going to say basically that they've got this farm building. It is in the right location, but there is no direct link to any of the witch trials other than it being in the right area. You know, because the people involved in the witch trials, there's nowhere. There are certain locations that were mentioned, but they don't have ownership or they don't have a link to it. But they are in roughly the right region, if that makes any sense. But in terms of a specific link, a particular link to the witch trials and the stories around these women, nothing at all.
How many spooky decorations or haunted dolls do you think they'll put in that venue for that night?
Shit tons.
Brett will be in there painting the place up to make it look all creepy and shit. They'll have Carl
I don't know if they will, or don't know if they'll be allowed to. Because if it is an old farm building, then it may be grade 2 listed. So
Yeah.
I don't know whether
If it's the building I'm
they
thinking
will.
of, I think it's listed.
Yeah.
Big Dan, any thoughts on the Smurl haunting?
No one knows.
I don't know enough. I've got a vague recollection of it, but
I forget which one that is. That's not the haunting in Connecticut one, is it?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. So that's not the one I thought it was. Is that
that
the one?
was Snedeker.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Isn't that Smurl one that the Warrens just kind of invited themselves to, and they kicked him out fairly shortly after being there because the guy caught him making long distance phone calls to the press from his phone. So he told Ed to get out. So it's another one. They seem to have a common theme in that, like the Conjuring 2 case, I legit thought was theirs. They weren't even there very long. You know,
Thank you, and Annalise. Enfield, they were barely involved in either.
But they make it sound like it's theirs, and they were the only ones. And no.
Oh yeah, if you watch the movie, they completely bypass the people that spent months and months and months sleeping under the kitchen table.
I like the movies.
Yeah.
But don't take anything from them.
Oh no,
because the third Conjuring, what's her name? What's her name?
Vera Farmiga, where she turned into Captain fucking Marvel.
No, she was basically the Scarlet Witch in that film. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Superpowers and absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But I enjoyed the movies. I didn't enjoy the third one. There was they were all right, but
didn't Peter Laws say that the fourth one is going to be about the Moffat case?
I think so.
With that for a short time, but I thought that would really tie into the whole Conjuring story, because part of the Moffat story is that there was the entity was trying to capture the lady because she was a nun in a past life. So I mean, I could really see them turning that into
Valak.
Exactly, to fit the Conjuring story.
Walking the Weird, thank you for the 10. I've added your bauble. Thank you, Camel. The Conjuring was the first only time I've heard the Warrens linked to the Enfield post. I think they were there for a day.
It was
I think they turned up twice. First time round was I think Guy and Morris knew about it and they came in and interviewed the girls, I believe it was. Then they came along second time unannounced, and which they were not too happy about, because you can't just kind of rock up to a place unannounced, and they did. And also it became very, very clear that they were there to kind of earn money, get a book deal, get a movie deal, that kind of stuff. And then it was a case of jog on, leave.
Beardo Horrorfan81 is in the chat. Please shout out Horrorfan81. It was a pleasure meeting you today. So today I had to go and take my in-laws to the annual Christmas meal with work colleagues and all the rest of it. Picked everyone up, drove them all over there in this massive 7-seater Land Rover. I was shitting myself because I don't have good history with my father-in-law's cars. I drove my wife's car into one of his. And they're caring for Mrs. Geek's grandparents at the moment, and the carer walked into the house, and he's wearing a Beardo Get Scared hoodie, and he sort of looked at me. I looked at his hoodie, and he went, "Wow, hi." We just stood there like, how fucking weird is that? Kazza, thank you for the 10 gifted Beardo Gets Scared memberships. Thank you very, very much. Right, we got a question from Anne Robinson there. What got you guys first interested into the paranormal?
You guys are going to hate this, but Ghost Adventures.
Really? That's pretty recent, mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
of
I
us
never-
can't say much.
I never had any experiences as a kid. I take that back. There was one experience that I had as a kid. Actually, I didn't have the experience. My mom did. And it scared the shit out of me. She said she came in the house and saw a person standing at the bottom of our landing that goes upstairs. And as soon as she flipped the light on, it disappeared. Dude, I did not sleep with the lights off for months. I was so scared hearing that. But yeah, Ghost Adventures. I'm a little ashamed.
Just to cut in, I will not be watching Gavin and Stacey this Christmas because it's
No.
shit. Absolute shit.
It was good years ago, but what's his face? He's lost every single bit of goodwill I've ever had for that show.
Oh, James Corden is because
Yeah,
he's a
James
bit of a
Corden.
cow.
I stand him.
Remember what?
Cow. I can't fucking stand the guy.
No,
Justin, what got you interested in the paranormal?
For me, and obviously initially it was overhearing stuff that was going on in my home when I was 8. So it wasn't that I was seeing stuff when I was 8 years old. It was more that I would hear my mum and dad talking about the weird stuff that was going on in my house because they kept a lot from me. We had a poltergeist basically for about 6 weeks. So you kind of get an interest, like because you're overhearing kind of conversations, whether it's TV changing channels on its own or stuff moving around and things like that, you kind of like pick up on that. And so from after that, it was a case of watching anything I could get hold of regards ghosts. It was watching the original Ghost Hunters. It was watching the Arthur C. Clarke TV series. It was reading This House is Haunted about the Enfield case. And then growing up on a whole bunch of TV stuff and just reading avidly, so it was all of that kind of deal.
Well, mine was experiences when I was younger, and then embarrassingly enough, Most Haunted. When Most Haunted started, I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever seen. As me and all my mates down in Neath Abbey, which me and Mr. Gree went to nearly a year ago. Yeah, just to try and replicate what they were doing, and then like, where's the knocking? Nothing's getting thrown. Dandalf?
mine's almost identical to Justin's, to be honest. When I was a kid, my mother said she saw a ghost at the bottom of my grandmother's. Sorry, at the top of my grandmother's stairs. My brother said he saw a ghost. He might have been taking a piss, man, because he's his older brother and he was always doing that stuff. But I was the same when I was like 8 or 9 years old. I think I had my first ghost book. And I used to read about ghost stories. Like I said, Enfield Ghost, the Bawley Rectory. I used to have a book, I still got it somewhere, of all like the old photos from the 50s and 60s of like that ghost in front of the altar at the cathedral somewhere in England. I can't remember what it's called.
Newby Church.
Newby Church, that's the one. Yeah. It fascinated me. Same as UFO stuff, but paranormal stuff when I was a kid. That's all I read about. I absolutely loved it. And yeah, that's pretty much when I got into it, to be honest with you. And like I said, I was a full-blown believer back then as well.
Thank you for the $10, Ghost Quest, Jimmy. Dandalf, have you watched Ghost Quest's documentary?
No, I haven't.
Amel Main.
On who?
You'd love it.
Oh,
On
someone
Camel
mentioned
Main.
that to me. Someone did mention that to me. Yeah, I'll have a look. Yeah, I will absolutely have a look.
It's very good to watch his journey through it as well, because he's gone in with one mindset and come out with something completely different. I'm sure you'll approve.
Okay, I'll have a look. Yeah.
J. Smith, Mr. Nobody, has there ever been any reports of anyone seeing a spirit of a dinosaur or a caveman, etc.? Because it mostly seems to be Victorian people. This is Dandalf's biggest argument.
No, I have an answer to that, which have been told to me by paranormal people. Because I was the same. Why haven't we seen ghosts of cavemen? Why haven't we seen ghosts of whatever? Right? Animals, I have an answer for that. Given to me by paranormal people, by the way, because they're not sentient.
Dogs are not sentient?
No, but being sentient knows about you. You're aware of your own existence. You're not.
My dog is aware of his own farts. Of course, he knew he was alive.
You're not intelligent enough to be aware of your own existence. This isn't my explanation. By the way. This is what I've heard told to me. That's why you don't see cavemen ghosts. dinosaur ghosts, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
See, I like the I still like the idea of was it who was it? It was Richard Felix. You know, the whole Richard Felix argument was we get a lot of Victorian ghosts because they were particularly religious and believed that they would go to hell, or they'd be fearful of going to hell when they died. So rather than take that risk, they want to kick around, and that's why you see so many Victorian ghosts, because they don't want to cross over in case they go to hell, because they were such staunch believers of it.
Jimmy, thank you for the €10. Is that Mr. Beast on your thumbnail?
No.
Or do you just look like him?
The thing with the Victorian thing, mind, I think it was because the paranormal was at its most popular with table tipping seances.
Yeah.
You know, in Victorian era. If you read old Greek philosophy stuff and stories, they were seeing ghosts back then. They just didn't say it was a ghost.
Yeah.
You know, they were saying I was visited by a loved one, a passed away loved one. You know, so it's not a new thing, but I think it was the Victorian era, which is when it all kicked off. People were massively onto the paranormal kick, and like the Fox's sisters and stuff like that. Like so.
Yep, and it's got every bit as fucking silly again lately.
Yeah. I think YouTube is a massive problem when it comes to paranormal. I love YouTube. Don't get me wrong, you know me, but I think social media and YouTube is, the way it's spiked in the last couple of years with tomfoolery and bullshittery is because of YouTube and TikTok and social media and in general, basically.
I know so many good investigators that you'll never see because they're not on YouTube.
Yeah,
they're doing really, really good stuff, but they just don't put it up. I wish.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the recent interactions that me and Jeff had, and Dandalf was giving me some advice, and I was like, the reason I've involved Jeff is he's not going to turn up with a REM pod and a key 2. He's going to turn up with a measuring tape and proper tools to work out what could be causing things before he remotely even entertains the idea of paranormal. Let's look at everything natural first, and then I think one of his best bits of advice was go to your local doctor as well, get a checkup.
100%. I agree with that. Go to the medical route first before anything.
Oh yeah, we always suggest that.
Yeah.
We a lot of times when we do our thing, it's like in Jed's case right now in particular, everything's calmed down since we started talking to them. Like they're not reporting anything going on in their house. So
probably because their minds are at ease, and wellness of the mind, wellness of the soul, and all that.
Yep.
I suppose that's what the other thing is like. It's like very similar to what you're saying earlier. It's like those who investigate the paranormal properly. Let's put it like that. Not away from YouTube. You'll never ever really hear about that stuff until it's been published and peer reviewed and everything else. I mean, to give you an idea, I've got somebody next year, a guy called Tony Hayes, who is linked with the Society for Psychical Research in terms of he's part of the Spontaneous Cases Committee, and he is doing an ongoing active poltergeist case right now, similar to the like the Enfield case. And he sent me thousands of files, and he's sent me CCTV images, and he's basically sent me like 10 files worth of full of stuff, and it's like, right, good luck with that, because before help yourself to this, because this is what I've got, and this is not an ongoing active case. And he's coming on to talk about it next year, and I'm like, shit, there's so much stuff here. Where am I going to start? So it's going to be an amazing talk, but it's that's the difference between somebody doing stuff on YouTube for an hour.
Yep.
And those who are doing an active case over, he's investigating it, I think, for a number of years now.
Yep. Yeah. If we were to do a true, and I know Joe will probably watch all the footage, but I'm not going to watch the footage. When we did the Monroe house, we had 12 or 13 static cams up for 2 days. I mean, if you're truly doing an investigation, you would be watching all of that footage.
Yeah,
because that split second that something may have happened, you got to watch it all, and you can't watch TV while you're watching it. You have to be focused, and that's so when we do residential cases, for people, I do watch all of that footage. So, I mean, it's a commitment when you decide to do residential.
Yeah, Joe Vitale sends me fucking links to hours and hours and hours of static cameras. He's like, if you want to look, see if you can spot anything. He doesn't even tell me where the place is, or he just says, I've just been to a place. Do you want, here's the raw footage, see if you can spot anything. It doesn't tell me if he thinks he spotted anything. I got time for that. I can't watch it all, otherwise I'll never get a video out. But I appreciate people being that open and honest with the content. Like his videos, they were like 4 or 5 hours long, with multiple cameras on screen at once of just nothing happening. And okay, it's boring for a lot of people, but that's where I'm like glued. I'm like, I wonder if there could something there. But Joe Dawn amazing, yeah.
There was one that we did where we had cameras set up for 48 hours. And when we went to pick them up, a door had opened upstairs. It's an area of the house that nobody went to. It's kind of a dormer finished off. But a door had been open since we set that camera up. So I didn't do it, but a buddy of mine watched. I think it was about the 40th hour that he found where the door just comes open. So, I mean, but you've got to watch that. When did it happen? I think he fast forwarded a little bit on that one, so it didn't take him 40 hours, but he said he's got a good 20, 25 hours in that. Wait for
Mary really does love the dick. And if you want to get really freaked out by it, Carl and Yvette's kid is called Mary. I love dropping that bombshell. Nothing happened at the Monroe house. I blame Kenny. Yeah, same as when we go to the Ancient Ram Inn. If nothing happens, I'm blaming Dandalf, even though I went there before and nothing happened.
I've been to some of the most haunted places in the UK. Nothing has ever happened to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Thing is, you get. I mean, I was getting to a point a little while back when we were basically similar to a lot of YouTube channels, you know, like Ouija Brothers. At one point, we were going out pretty much every week doing filming and stuff, and we would purposely go to the apparently most haunted places around the UK. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And so you get to a point thinking, just going to give this up. This is just not entertaining. We're doing like 25, 30-minute video or 45-minute video on putting it out as an episode.
Yeah.
When nothing happens, it's like, how can you make this entertaining? It's shit.
The thing is, as well, right? I've always got said, not always, but now and again, I'll get said to me is, you know, you have to be there for months to experience something. That's fair enough saying that. But then I see other teams who go to these places constantly have something happen. So is it the case that I'm too close-minded, or is it a case I don't connect a bump to being a ghost?
Possibly, but then the last one to 30 East Drive, I distinctly remember saying to Doodle and Lee, I'm pretty fucking bored of this now. It's 6 hours here, 6 hours home. I'm driving home tired all the time. It's probably my last go. And even in the morning, I felt the same way. And then I got home and I started editing, and then I'm like, that sounds like somebody's dragging furniture around in my room while I'm sleeping. What the? And it's reignited it all for me, because to Dandalf, it could be right, it could be this, and this. To me, that was laying there is no fucking reason at all for those sounds. To everyone sat at home that said to me, it's probably people turning in their beds. It's probably... There's nothing wrong with questioning that. There is nothing wrong with saying it could be this. It could... Absolutely not. Otherwise, I can't be a debunker if I'm not willing to take on people's thoughts on my investigations. But I know that draw handle woke me up, and then I didn't know it was what woke me up at the time, but it was when I played the footage back, and I'm like, that shouldn't have been there. And then all these dragging sounds, but none of us heard it. But it was so loud on the downstairs camera, I don't know how it didn't wake me up. And it was not coming from her next door.
The thing with that, though, can you 100% categorically say that there was no one, not you, obviously, because the camera was on you, but there was no other people there going to the toilet? Even if they went to, even if they said, "Oh, did you go to the toilet?" Yeah, but I went to this time or that time. You know, how would you know? Like, if
I remember Dean dropping his phone, but this is the weird, because Dean texted me. He's like, "If you heard a bang, I've dropped my phone." When we were all sleeping, because he knew I was trying to leave cameras running, so we were tagging things even while we were sleeping. I remember getting woken up to this noise and putting the but no, you've got a point there. That, you know, I can't say it was paranormal. I've never
I'd like to
said
see
it
this
was
clip. I
paranormal.
haven't seen this clip, by the way, so I'd like to see it at some point. So.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes of footage of my camera just picking up these bizarre noises that really shouldn't have been there, and they were coming from my bedroom. And it's just weird how we see Mary Loves Dick, and then Three Spires Lee turns up. But Ancient Ramin, I never heard so much as a creak in that building. Is it not haunted? Well, I can't say that. I've only ever been there once.
Didn't
But
you
it
see
was
the-
Same here. I'm trying to think. I've been there once, twice. I think I've been there twice. But yeah, I just got cold. That's it. I got cold.
I went outside at 4 o'clock in the morning in February for a warm.
Yeah, cold and dust mites is all I got.
Yeah,
Like
it
someone
was
mentioned.
Go on. Sorry, that.
No, someone mentioned earlier that I've been to Scared Inn. I've been to the Scared Inn for a paranormal investigation. I very much enjoyed it. It was just a very old pub to me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get... The thing is, as well, this is what people say, oh, nothing happens by getting an eerie feeling. I don't get eerie feelings in these places. I used to do abandoned urban exploring on my own in dark bloody World War II bunkers on my own, knee high up in water. Probably should be dead, the shit I went into, right? But I got eerie feelings in those places, but because my life was possibly in danger from a wall falling or something. But haunted places, not once have I had an eerie feeling.
No. See, I've been to Scared Inn a few times, and like you say, I just see it as a lovely old pub.
Yeah, I love the place.
Great bacon sandwiches in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. And last time I went, I just fell asleep. To be honest, I was that scared. I fell asleep really, and it was
it was 3:30 a.m. in the morning. I'd been up for 16 hours, and I slept in supposedly the most haunted bedroom in that Scared Inn, and I slept like a baby.
Yeah, Who are all of your favorite paranormal teams? I think everyone knows mine is the Ouija Brothers.
Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, Ghost Adventures. Just kidding.
Fuck. Right, these pair are leaving.
I like Twin Paranormal the best. I mean, after all,
bye, Jeff,
brother.
For Snacky, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Jeff, have you got a favorite paranormal team?
I mean, I do like. Not really. I like the Ouija Brothers. I mean, it's not a team, but I do like to watch Dawson Toller videos. I mean, he's very entertaining. Joe's stuff is fun to watch. Like, I don't know. I really, honest to God, I don't watch a whole lot of paranormal stuff anymore. I mean, like investigations. I just, if I watch YouTube, it's either like true crime stuff or I watch golf. YouTube golf is fun to watch for me.
I think anybody I can watch, and our last, in terms of I can watch it for more than 2 minutes, I've got to be doing something right. Because most teams that I watch on YouTube, I just can't get past about 2 minutes. As soon as they bring out a spirit box or they bring out some kind of weird gadget, it's like, that's it, I'm done and I'm off. So, but I will say Ouija Brothers, because obviously I know them really well and investigated lots of times with them. They have always from the very start been right down the middle and genuine in their intentions and how they do things. They haven't, they call a spade. So, and plus they've got that humor, they've got that, they've got that familiarity with each other, so they're entertaining as well. So, yeah, I do like the Ouija Brothers.
Yeah.
Dan, I'll teach some more.
No, I don't hate. I like the Ouija Brothers. I've met up with them, and I think they're cool people. So, like, I'm the same as Jeff. To be honest, as far as paranormal investigations, I don't watch a lot these days. To be honest, because to me they always meld into one. They always turn, it's the same thing. I'm not knocking anyone. I'm friends with a lot of them. I like them as people.
Yeah.
But for me, paranormal investigations always turn into the same thing day in, day out. You call out, nothing happens. That's the way. And maybe, like I said, maybe that's the bloody cynic in me. But
the thing is, I mean, it's like I did investigating in 2016, 2017, and that's, I think, probably started just slightly before Ouija Brothers, and I've done, like I say, hundreds of hours in East Drive. Never once have I had anything happen to me ever by calling out. Not once.
So here's a question for you, then, Justin. Right? If you've spent hundreds of hours, You've never had anything call it back to you in 30 East Drive. Do you think a 30 East Drive is haunted?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
You had a flip-flop thrown at it.
But only because, and this is because of all those hundreds of hours where nothing happens, and you're calling out, and the thing is with East Drive, right? So I'll give you an example. Right, the mad thing that happened, I know where everybody was. There was 10 people in that room, but we knew where everybody was. They were all downstairs. There's nobody upstairs. There's cameras on the landing. We knew where everybody were, and yet shit was kicking off in the bedroom. Came definitively from the bedroom because we had a voice recorders in there, 2 of them, and it was banging on the furniture, and then these big, heavy, kind of loud stamping went above our heads, diagonally going across Philip's room. We knew where everybody was, right? So that's one example, but another one is we did these 5-6 day live streams from 8 p.m. till 5 in the morning every night for 5 nights, right? And it was just insane. It was just an insane amount of time, and really, it knackers you out. So we used to kind of do that until 5 in the morning, calling out for 8 hours or however long it was, talking to people on chat, doing locked off cameras, doing lone vigils, doing this, doing that, trying to get something to work, and nothing would work. Nothing would happen. Absolute silence. You'd turn off the cameras. You would go to bed. I would be in one bedroom. I'd hear their door close. I would be in the other bedroom, and I would close my door. Within 5 minutes, with nobody else in the house, we heard marbles being thrown on the landing, hitting the skirting boards. And that just proved to me that whatever was in there was basically taking the piss. It was taking the piss because it had listened to everything we'd said. It listened to us calling out. And the moment we turn off the cameras and go to bed, that's when it threw things around. And I thought, that's got, I'm not saying intelligence, but that kind of ticked the boxes of every kind of, when a paranormal investigator says a poltergeist is like a petulant child, and it will do things when you don't want it to do things, and it will just play you. That's the feeling I got, And I'm thinking, well, I knew where everybody was. It was directly outside my bedroom. There's only me and one other person in the house. I knew where he was. He knew where I was. We'd both closed our doors. We're both absolutely shattered. And when that happened, we were so tired we didn't give a shit, basically. So it's like, do what you want. I'm going to sleep. And that's, you get to a point when you've been up for 8 hours through the night, you're thinking, whatever now. But yeah, you do end up having a kind of emotional reaction to this stuff. And that's at a time when we had no energy whatsoever. So this whole argument about poltergeists kind of feed off your energy, we had none.
That's why you had none, Doubter.
That's right.
Right. Sheena asked a question about Hans Holzer. What are your thoughts? I've never heard of him. Sorry.
He's I think he was running around back like when Ed and the Rain were starting.
Yeah.
They did the Holzer files. From what I know of him, and I don't know a whole lot, it was from the TV show. I mean, I think he was a serious investigator, from what I know, but.
Yeah, all I know is from the likes of like Dave Schrader, kind of interviewed Dave Schrader, and obviously he did the Holzer files.
Yep.
And so all I know is kind of like, of apparent. I don't know of the person. Maybe I should know Hans Holzer a little bit more in terms of being an investigator, what he actually investigated and how he went about it. But I don't. But I've heard of him, but I don't know too much about him.
I think he was actually involved in the Amityville case before the Warrens got called there. There was one case that, like him and Ed, I think had kind of a quarrel, like they didn't like each other at all. So,
sorry, just got rid of a question there. The price of Paranormal Police is overpriced. Absolutely, every one of them.
100%.
Yeah, and it's just got ridiculous. The last 2-3 years since lockdown, it has got absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep.
To be honest, I think. Sorry, go on.
Go on, carry on. Just link to that last.
No,
question.
I think the price of supposedly haunted places. I think it takes away any credibility you have if you're charging 300 to 900 quid a night for a place. I mean, what are you doing it for the paranormal, or are you doing it for the tourism?
I understand upkeep tax and things
Upkeep
like that. There's got to come back.
Yep.
The Skirt Inn is a perfect example. When I went a couple of years ago, it was 80 quid for the night. that's like a hotel room.
Mhm.
I'm fine
Yeah.
with that. A 300 quid, 900 quid, 1,200 quid. That's purely about the money. That has nothing to do with paranormal, if you ask me.
Yep. Does
Yeah.
anyone else go to popular, haunted, or spiritually significant places and find that it just feels dead? Yeah. Devoid of any feeling or anything deeper than a tourist trap that sapped the local energy. Ancient Ramin for me was exactly
All the
that.
time. All the time. Yeah.
Two of my favorite places that I've been creeped out at were free places. One was Candleston Castle that I've done a few times, and the other one was Tinkinswood Burial Chamber, which is a monolithic or Neolithic monolithic burial chamber, and there was some weird noises, and my memory card's wiped. But I'm not saying it's paranormal because it was when I first had the new camera, so it's probably me. But yeah, the most creeped out I've got recently in the last year or two are places I haven't paid to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what's really unfortunate and really sad is there may be some genuine places out there, but they have priced out, that those who want to do this off their own backs individually or with one other person for a channel, they've priced them out. So what do? You either don't go to that place that may actually be haunted, or you go as part of a ghost event tour. And you try to find your own space within, if it's a big location, like a huge prison, okay. But then if you've got people wandering around screaming, unused to a ghost hunt, don't know what they're really doing, and wandering off wherever, anything you kind of capture is kind of, it's negated. You can't trust any of it because you don't know where everybody is. It's a waste of time.
It's always amazed me too at how, some of these really, really big buildings, how you can hear another group that you would think that there's no way I'd be able to hear them, but you can. Like, we went to school with paranormal seekers. We were in the basement. They were up on the third floor, opposite end of the building, and we could hear them. It's like, this place is huge. How are we hearing these people? But their hollow, empty buildings sound really, really travel. So
especially at night, sound travels at night. Way more than it does in the day. So.
Chris 52 to answer that question quickly, because trespass in the UK isn't a criminal offence. It's a civil matter. Most of these places, nobody claims them or anything. And if you do happen to get attacked by spoons, it's because there's a weed grow in the attic.
Yeah. When I was doing exploring mine, that was always my thing. I would never do houses or anything like that. It was always like military installations or like an old power station, stuff like that. That's what I used to do. Yeah. No houses, nothing.
So I couldn't do that because I'm the fat, slow one. So I do.
It's a bit different where you live, though, isn't it? There's a chance you're getting shot if you go into an abandoned place there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not do that in America.
No.
The thing is as well, you've always got kind of like, I can understand people going into abandoned buildings. I can understand it because the alternative is just ridiculously expensive and you can't do it. Right? That's why people go in. I fully understand it, but it's that thing of, there's obviously morally you're just going into an old farm building or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any kind of backstory. There's no kind of haunted credentials linked to an old farm building. It just looks like a creepy ass building. So part of me just thinks, well, why are you there? If it's just a rundown place that's falling apart, why are you there? And it's just because it looks good, essentially. Blimey, that's a bit scary.
Yeah, my main camera battery ran out, so I have to use my webcam.
But the alternative is, do you go into either deconsecrated churches, which are kind of open 24/7? Then you've got the whole moral issue that you're going into an old church and filming in a churchyard, or you go into in the UK, an old ruin of a castle, for instance, which is great because it's got the history and it may even have a good ghost story. But then you're open to the environment, which has its own issues.
Yeah.
So it is so hard. It's really, really hard.
Or you do what I do, and you turn up to Candleston Castle. 3 times I've gone there, and there's been a rave in the woods, and I'm like, me. And they always kick off after I've unloaded everything. I've got, I've lumped all the gear up in one go because I don't want to leave it laying about in the car park. You get there, set it all up. It's like, right, 3, 2, lightsaber. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake. What's everyone using for static cameras? If there's any CCTV cameras that are decent. When it comes to some teams are fortunate enough that they've been at this for so long that their static cameras are Sony AX53s that I use for a main camera. The Ouija brothers use them as static cams, because they've upgraded their equipment. I've got an old handy cam down there. It's like 12 or 13 years old with night vision in it. If you're going to use CCTV, it's very unreliable, and then you can only use it to bolster your own experiences. You capture something on there, like a shadow mass or something, you'd have a hard job convincing anyone it's anything other than artifacting, purely because the technology isn't there, especially on these little night vision cameras I've got in my studio, because they're so pixelated and they're supposed to be 4K. They're not. Yes, Standalf.
No, no. I've last half hour I've come around now where I feel normal, so I ain't going near it.
Our DVR cameras aren't that bad. Like, the quality isn't horrible. The sound on them absolutely sucks, but honestly, I mainly use them for B-roll anymore because I hardly ever catch anything.
Yeah,
but it's I like to have them set up just for B-roll stuff.
I tell you what, the other thing which I find really funny is when we used to go out, our whole thing was trying to get something genuine. So we wanted a really good camera and really good audio equipment.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but if you go out with a really good camera and really good audio equipment, you get nothing.
Pretty much.
Genuinely, you get nothing.
I have,
because you can't. But the ones who've got really pixelated, really crappy cameras, they'll believe anything moving in a pixelated world is maybe a possibility of a ghost, or anybody uses a really crap, audio equipment like a DR60 is going to think something's there when it's not. So
I've got
the tech.
I've got an Olympic recorder, it's $70 or $80, so it wasn't like a cheap one. But I used to, we would catch EVPs on that all the time. But since I got this one, this Zoom H6, I don't think I've caught an EVP on this one yet. And I've had.
It means it's working then.
Exactly, because it's a lot better quality.
Yeah.
There's been teams. Oh, sorry, go on.
Anybody getting assaulted by cougars? Yeah, Paranormal Nightmare. Have you ever seen their thirsty audience? Fucking hell. Go on, Dad.
I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, no, there's been teams out there who have said you can't catch ghosts on modern technology. And it's exactly what you're saying right there. It's because they're better at filtering out shit.
Yeah.
Whereas the old, the dictaphone style things and the old low quality cameras, you're finding all kinds of stuff in the artifacting of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen teams say that they don't use modern tech because nothing comes up. Well, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
It's good.
Yeah.
Alex on Wheels, if you could investigate any haunted place on Earth, what would it be? And you can't say Enfield.
Waverley Hills.
Tower of London.
Ooh.
Dracula's castle.
Bloody Impaler.
That's right.
Lee's house from Really Haunted. Just to prove it once and for all. Like, it wouldn't be for one night. It would be, I am staying here for a month.
Yeah.
And if not one thing happens, sir, you're fucking screwed.
There's nothing to prove, though. I don't like to speak bad to people, right? But anyone who believes that now, after all the videos from all the channels which has come out over the years, anyone who believes that deserves to be cheated, if you ask me.
I had a very similar
You're never
blowout.
going to convince them.
A guy came into the stream on Tuesday and, he was ripping into me because I called out Really Haunted. And I was like, listen, you're the fucking idiot here, mate, not me. Now, look at it from a skeptic's point or a scientific point. Ghosts are not real. There is zero proof. That's not where I sit, but that is pretty much fact. We're on the lunatic fringe side here. And you want me to believe all of that in that guy's house? I'm sorry, but you're the fucking idiot here, not me. I went off at him.
Yep.
But I think the only way to prove it to these people would be for somebody to like move in for a month and be like, see, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And even then, they're going to be like, oh, you faked nothing happening in there.
Well, you got that guy, in the flat Earth community who was paid for a trip to the Antarctica to see a 24-hour sun, and he admitted on video, like he's an ardent flat earther, right? And he admitted on video, I can't believe I have to say this. Yes, that there's a 24-hour sun in the Antarctic, right? So now all the other flat earthers who were friends with him is saying, "Oh, you're a paid chill now." It's the same thing. It's the same thing which would happen in the paranormal. If someone went to somewhere and they say, "Oh no, well no, you're being paid to say that." That's the problem.
Earthers are a different fucking breed.
Yes, that's weird people.
They're fucking scary.
Yeah.
Creaky Blinder, you watch him, don't you, stand off?
Yeah, I like Creaky Blinder. Yeah.
Like his arguments with the flat earthers, and then he basically debunks flat earthers' videos and argues it with common sense. He's so funny. The fucking death threats, like I speak to him quite often. The death threats he gets. Yeah. He's overtaken me by billions. Oh, I get one in the comments on my videos at least on a weekly basis, and he's like, "When are you going to cover the flat Earth? Because the flat Earth is real." And I've never engaged him, never, because it's like I already argue we're pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right, have we got any other questions? I'm sorry if I'm missing stuff, but I'm not used to these lives with guests and stuff. I don't know how Justin does it.
Yeah, it is different. I always do the same. Like when we have guests on, I can't pay attention to the chat. I just can't.
Yeah, I try to avoid the chat, Beardo.
Yeah. You do. You fucking crow your chat and just scroll past and ignore it.
I don't. No.
All right, then. You do that when you see me, Mythos, or the Side-Eye guy comment.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, shit.
Right, it's apparently fakers have to make copyright claims because you're calling it the bullshit. Not always. A lot of the times, and I've seen people make this mistake, they will claim that they've been copyright claimed by a channel, and then when I've looked, because they've asked me what they can do about it, it's actually the music in the background of the videos that's done it, and they don't understand the YouTube copyright complete. The YouTube copyright system is bollocks anyway, but the reason I bought an Epidemic Sound license was because all of the fakers use Epidemic Sounds. So I bought the license so I stopped getting copyrighted. And now you can't touch me.
Yeah, I got that last Paranormal Nightmare video I did. Like I uploaded that 7 different times because it kept saying this section was, copyright material. But I altered it so bad. Finally, it said it was a different one. And I'm like, screw this. I'm just going to post this, demonetize it, and just go with it. I got 7 hours to upload this video anymore. So.
Yeah, I've uploaded a few demonetized videos just because I just want the word out to make a difference.
Yep.
Do you think that Derek Okora was a fake, or do you think he felt compelled to show something? I think he initially believed he had a gift. He believed.
I don't think 1 second Derek Okora believed he had the gift. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. He was a former footballer trying it on. That's what he was doing.
Are you saying footballers can't be mediums?
I've met people who saw Derek and watched Derek before he was on Most Haunted and were really genuine. They thought he actually had a gift. They thought he was really good. But no, I don't believe anything that Derek said. Nothing at all, I'm afraid.
Kim Adrizzoni, thank you for the 5. I've had a few experiences, but after watching Paranormal Monkey, I think it was all in my head. So I don't believe in anything now. Thanks, Justin.
No problem, Kim.
Justin is now officially a debunker. He's shit on somebody's dreams and hopes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the team.
I really don't want to be a debunker, honestly. The shit you have to watch. Christ.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be. Sometimes I really struggle for content.
Why do you think I play Indiana Jones lately?
Yeah. saw a question there, but it seems to have gone. Oh, there we go. Glasgow Ghost Hunters. Do any of you believe in aliens, or have had the thought that maybe there was intelligent life here before us and they were more intelligent?
It's something I have thought about almost every single day for the last 45 years.
Yeah. My thoughts in sort of a quick version would be, I think it's ignorant to assume that we're it. In an infinite universe, we're the only intelligent life. Are they going to the Midwest and sticking things up farmers' bums? No, I don't think so. Have they ever visited? It could. For me, it could account for certain religions, where older religions were describing things like Zeus's chariot through the sky and shit like that. I'm wondering if they've misconstrued something else. It could be a meteor, could be a ship. But then you've got the paintings and caves and that are all around the world, and it's like there's things that make me question. There's more to it, but I don't think they're like in visitation and stealing people.
I wish I could remember the name of it. There was a Netflix show where basically these archaeologists are challenging what we all consider as fact, as like the timing of the history of the Earth, and they're saying that a lot of what they're finding is that modern architects are like way wrong on a lot of stuff.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ancient civilizations.
Yep.
I don't know ancient civilizations. Where they think the pyramids were built a long time before we assume, but with technology that there was some global catastrophe, i.e. Noah's flood, that wiped the technology, our technological advancement, and now we've gone in a different technological advancement.
About 12,000 years ago, there was a proven flood. Not flood, but not a world flood like Noah's flood, but in Egypt, there was scientifically proven high waters around the pyramids. And what they're saying is there's watermarks on the pyramids and the Sphinx, which shouldn't be there because they were apparently built 5,000 years ago, but those watermarks suggest they were built 9,000 to 10,000 years ago. But that's the gist of it. That's not the only thing. But I love that stuff, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Birdie Elizabeth, thank you for the 199. Have you ever had an unexplainable experience? I have, but it's only unexplainable to me. Other people would have different thoughts on it. I mean, I thought I had an unexplainable experience, and then I sent it to Dandalf, and he was like, no, that's your throat gurgling. You can tell the difference between the microphone. But
I got so much shit for making that video because, like, I can't believe you debunked video. Beardo, how could you do that to him?
I asked you to.
I just made an opinion and what I think, what I believe it to be.
And you were right. I wouldn't have asked you if I didn't want the fucking answer.
I married somebody I shouldn't have done. Does that count?
Me too.
You're not still married to her, because she may be watching.
No, she is next now. Ex-wife.
Fair enough.
I've
we know
definitely
Gandalf haven't. Jeff, you ever had an unexplainable experience?
Yeah, I've had a few, and that's what keeps me coming back for more. Like I said, that one time with that shadow walking in front of my TV. There was another time where something said something right into my ear, and everybody else in the room heard it. And we did actually capture that on camera and on audio recorders. But that's another thing. What was it? It was not an outside noise. It wasn't anybody else in the building, because it was right here, and everybody else in the room heard it. So
I can't say an experience which I had unexplainable, but about days later, I eventually figured it out. But at the time, I couldn't explain it. And I've mentioned this in a video years ago, where I moved into this house years ago. And the first week, nothing happened. But then the second week, I was in bed, and I could hear what I thought was slow walking out on my landing. Mm-hmm. And my fight or flight kicked in, and my flight stayed there. I stayed in bed like, what the fuck is that? I shit myself, right? Right? So they eventually went away. The next night, it was happening again. I thought, right, I got to go check this out now. So I went out, and then I realized that it's windy outside, and it was my landing window creaking. And I put my head towards it, and it genuinely sounded like how can I say? How can I explain? Like someone in slippers walking across my landing. That's exactly what it sounded like. Now I figured that out, but for that first night, I think, holy shit, is my skepticism about to be thrown out the window here? Am I finally being haunted? Because this is only like 10 years ago. So I've definitely had unexplainable things, but then eventually figured it out. But on the spot, no.
Do you think Uri Geller has any? No,
No.
absolutely not. He was
No.
completely and utterly shown up for being a complete fraud, wasn't he?
Yeah.
By
James Randi.
James Randi, yeah.
James Randi, yeah.
The thing with Uri Geller is he started as a magician, right? So that's and he that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
He started as a magician, not a musician, a magician, and then later on he goes, "Oh no, that wasn't an illusion. That was my telekinetic powers." And so it's just like, so James Randi just called him out for what he was, a magician.
Destroyed him. The thing is, he could get away with that in the 70s and 80s because I remember his TV show, or not TV show, but he was on talk shows when I was a kid growing up, and we were all watching on a Saturday night. Oh my god, I can't believe he's in that spoon. It's like, and yeah, he's a magician.
See, now, Mrs. Geek, totally clever, like Darren Brown.
Dan Brown's amazing.
I think Darren Brown is one of the most scary people on this fucking planet.
I love Dan Brown.
I would love to. Do you know? I emailed Darren Brown to see if he'd come onto the podcast. No. Apparently, he doesn't kind of accept kind of contacts from outside people.
I'm saying right now, right? I've read all his books. I've been to see his live shows twice. If you ever get him on, give me a shout because I love that guy. Honestly, I love that guy.
Yeah, I think Darren Brown is awesome.
Yeah.
The thing is, from what I've heard, is he will come on to things like magicians podcasts and stuff if he happens to have spotted you or seen you and he liked it. So I'm hoping sometime in the future he might actually come on because I would love to speak to Darren Brown.
Do a couple of card tricks, a bit of juggling, and look, this is what I do. Come on my show.
Yeah, I
But
think
give me a shout, because honestly, he's one of my favorite people.
Some of the things that he has done, it fucking baffles me how powerful he is. I know he explains it all, and it's all mentalist tricks. But that guy that woke up in fucking Cairo because he sat in a passport photo booth, and it's like, how? I was sat there, I watched that episode, and I was like, right, I think Darren Brown's a fraud. I think this guy has been paid because there is no way has he got him all the way to Cairo. And then I've seen all of the other stuff he's done, and I'm like, this guy is fucking scary. He's Professor X.
I thought he was the devil for the longest time. Really.
Yeah, I think he was put on this earth just to convince us the ghosts are not real, and he's psychic as well.
One of the books I own of his, I think it's Tricks of the Mind or something. I can't remember. I had it years ago. It goes in detail of hypnotism and how to hypnotize someone, and basically how it won't work on some people, and you have to have a certain belief as well. But it's honestly, his books are so bloody interesting. They're really interesting.
Do you think you can catch a disembodied voice, not on equipment, just on camera?
I think so.
I think that depending on what microphones and whatever you use, the better quality your gear is, and if you capture something that shouldn't be there, the more seriously people will take it and look into it and see if they can dismiss things. If you've got a shit recorder, one of the things that really pisses me off is people pull out these magic boxes, and I'm not just talking about the DR60, and they'll say, right, I'm pressing record. Okay, is there anyone here? Can you speak to me, please? They wait in silence, and even if they don't turn their head or rustle their coats on purpose, like they all do, they press playback, and you hear their own voice come back out, and their own voice says, right, dismiss it immediately. Immediately dismiss it. The microphone is bollocks. It's capturing garbage.
One good thing that we do is we never, we'll hit record and then set it down. We never ever hold recorders because just the slightest movement on the outside of the recorder is going to sound like a voice.
I keep hearing Dandalf laughing, and
It's because I'm reading the chat. Sorry.
Yeah, I will just say that we caught not a voice as such, but we definitely had funnily enough, East Drive again. But we was I think Dale, the guy I used to investigate with, he went into the coal shed of East Drive and took a voice recorder, put it down the shelf. Nothing on the voice recorder. He was calling out and asking for stuff to happen. Nothing on the voice recorder. But on the main camera, the main camcorder that we were using, we heard the sound of a pig grunting, right? Which was captured, mental, right? Which he didn't hear at the time with his own ears. It didn't appear on the voice recorder, but it did appear on camera. So trying to work it out, didn't know what the hell it was all about. We just kind of put it out there. So this is what we've heard. See what you think of it. And it was like a grunting sound. But then later on, maybe about a year later, I was reading Colin Wilson's book, which talks about the Black Monk of Pontefract case. And one of the things the family heard or talked about was the sound of, quote, farmyard noises. So whether it was that, I've got no idea. How it got on the camcorder, not on the voice recorder, no idea. He didn't hear it for himself. Very weird. So I do think it can happen.
Yeah, I've had it happen when we've captured, something on one device when there's multiple devices in the room. It's like, why is it on this one but not that one?
We just captured an EVP. It went, oh, woo, 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 woo.
That was Dana. That's Dana.
The side-eye guy is alive, ladies and gentlemen. We can all stop panicking.
Oh, he's had
His liver has not left the building. He is alive.
Barely. Hungover, Seg.
I wonder how he's feeling.
You actually heard me go, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, they heard you.
I was scratching the dog's butt.
Yep.
Debunked.
Yep, debunked.
Get him on. Side-eye guy, do you want to join us? You've got about 10 minutes if you do.
I bet he doesn't.
I bet he doesn't. I bet he's green. He's going to put our mask on. He's like, who's thrown up in my mask?
Pretty rough.
Feeling pretty rough. Has Dan sobered himself up? I think he has, Jenny G.
I feel tired and my eyes are still a bit squinty, but I've definitely sobered up. I ate.
Well, it's time to go.
The last 30 minutes, Dan's colour has just completely drained and his eyes have started doing that again.
I was, because I feel myself sinking. And I was shocked how pissed I got on our bloody stream earlier. It was
funny to watch.
It's such a short amount of time. That's the last time I drink Baileys until Christmas Day.
Do you think certain people are more susceptible to or more sensitive to paranormal experiences, or do you just think it's the fear factor making it seem that way?
Good
Jesus,
question.
that's a deep question. That
I think it's.
Go
ahead.
No, go on.
I think people that are more open-minded to it can potentially experience more, but I also think too that fear factor kicks in because I've been in places where somebody says, "Ooh, I'm getting the chills," and then all of a sudden I start getting the chills, and it's happened enough that I've come to the conclusion that it's not because something is in there with us; it's because like the power of suggestion.
Yeah.
It's because it's happened in like non-paranormal situations, and it's like, okay, so that's what's really going on. It's the power of suggestion can really take you to places that aren't necessarily real.
I think the longer you investigate, the harder you become to, the harder it is for you to be convinced by something. Generally,
yeah.
I just think because those who take it kind of seriously or semi-seriously, however you want to see it, but if you're taking it seriously, you're thinking straight away something happens, you're thinking, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be the other, and you kind of talk yourself out of it. Anybody who's good at debunking kind of go, well, it could be this, it could be that. And so therefore I think it's harder to be convinced by something if you're of that mindset. If you think every little bump and thing creak is something possibly paranormal, then you're more likely to believe it.
I think I'm much harder to convince of anything now than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I walked into 30 East Drive, I walked in through the door, and everyone I've ever been there with, the first time has the same thing, where you walk in and you go, whoa, don't like it in here, except standoff. But it's the history of the house, the story, you've seen the movie, you've read the books, you've seen podcasts, and you take all of that in, and it's got you in the frame of mind of it's haunted, it's scary. And within about 2 hours of being in there, you can feel that sensation dipping real real quick.
Yeah.
And then the fourth time I went there, bizarrely, I walked in there and had that feeling, and then saw something in the corner of my eye. And I didn't even assume it to be paranormal. I went, oh, Carol's in here. And I went into the living room. There's nobody there. But I was like, I've just had a weird experience. It's probably just my mind playing tricks because I'm excited. We've got 3 spires. We've got Doodle. We got Dean. But Doodle and Dean saw it as well. And then Lee walked in behind everyone and went, fucking I don't feel right in here. I was like, all right, it's not just me. And I stupidly went, high EMF. Aha, I can write all of our experiences off with EMF. And then obviously got that rude bitch telling me I was completely fucking wrong. But she had a point. But she was very fucking rude about it.
I think fear plays a big factor in it myself, because if now, say for example, right, you went to 30 East Drive, supposedly the most haunted house in the UK, and you just said yourself you had a pretense going there.
Yeah.
If you had a group of people saying, right, we're going to put you in this metal room. It's not haunted. It's nothing. It's out in the middle of nowhere. We just want you to go in there, use these things. Would you feel scared about it? You wouldn't. You wouldn't have that pretense, so then nothing would happen, in my experience.
I've wanted to do an experiment. I can't afford to do it just yet, but I would like to do like a week-long experiment with believers and skeptics, not tell them anything about any of the places, and have some that are reportedly haunted, some that are not reportedly haunted, and everyone investigate for the week in all these buildings and then see what the findings are at the end, and if it matches, doesn't match.
That's how you do it correctly.
No.
That's exactly how you do it correctly.
Yeah.
You basically you give someone the placebo pill and see what happens. Like, that's
I mean, I remember years back. I think I was 16. To give you an idea, properly years back, I did ASAP investigator training with Steve Parsons, and he basically put probably about 20 of us in a hotel. In Leicestershire, wherever, and he kind of separated us all out, as you should do, separate us out into bedrooms.
I just got jump scared by a fucking werewolf.
And we'll separate us all out, so we're like 1 or 2 of us in a bedroom, and just said, right, if anything happens, write it down. That's it. If anything happens, write it down. We're not telling you any other information. We're not saying whether it's haunted or not. We're just letting you know you're going to be in room 4 for 2 hours. In that time, write down whatever happens.
That's exactly how a scientific investigation should be done.
Yeah.
Have any of you ever been truly terrified during an investigation? I have, but it was from some really angry Irish folk brandishing large spoons, and I've got about 3 grams of the camera in my hands. Like, oh fuck! For me, the scariest experience are the living.
Mine was not paranormal. Mine was a police helicopter.
That's a good story.
Buzzing me overhead because I was in a place which I probably shouldn't have been. But I don't think they were looking for me. But when you've got a low-flying helicopter just kind of with infrared and buzzing you, it's a genuinely scary, upper scary shit yourself moment. So that's the only time I've been properly scared.
I did get scared in a farmhouse once with exploring the entity, but that's because Carl put a REM pod down and I didn't know he was there, and I came around the corner and he just went and I literally took off, shat myself.
I haven't been terrified in a paranormal investigation, but like I said, when I used to do it in exploring in bunkers and stuff, the thought did occur to me at the brief moments when I was walking through dark tunnels on my own. It's like, if something jumps out at me now, I got to escape.
Actually,
that was always a thought in my brain.
Actually, I did get scared out of 30 East Drive, but it was my own mind.
Really?
I'd gone there with a team, and I'd been going hell for leather at Fred, the Black Monk, and I'm just going, go on, fucking hurt me all night. That's all I was doing was provoking the shit out of it, and I'm like, I really want this thing to attack me, and they were like, right, we're going home now, and I went, you fucking what? Yeah, that's fine, I'll stay. And I sat there. I sat on the sofa, and I'm like, if I leave now, I could get up by 8 in the morning. And my eyes were just starting to drop, and I just had this image of Griff, the chest compression, and I went, nah, fuck it, I'm going home. I got to Birmingham, and I rang Steve, because he's like doing the school run. I was like, I can't believe what I've just done. I'm never telling anyone like this. I've just shit out at 30 East Drive, and he was like, same thing happened to me, but I had to call my brother. He said, it's all just your head playing tricks on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I spun myself out so bad. Like, fuck, if something happens, I'm on my own.
I got really freaked out when I went to an asylum with Dawson, and he came up with this thing where we were going to take turns walking through this building in night vision only, no flashlight, nothing. And this was right after hearing all the haunted stories from the tour, and after a few days of watching other videos on the place and stuff like that. So I was really, really scared doing that. Like, I thought something was going to jump out of one of those doors at any minute.
Yeah, your mind does.
Yeah.
It can fuck you right up. I was so embarrassed when I rung Steve the next morning. I thought he was going to give me shit, and he didn't. He was like, same thing happened, but I rung my brother, and he came and sat with me. I was like, all right, I feel less like a knobhead now. Cody Breeman, thank you for the 20. Get another bauble. Have any of you looked into infrasound, its effect on humans when it comes to paranormal? Certain frequencies can cause you to feel uneasy or spooked, like traffic, running water, trains.
Yeah.
I've looked into it, but there's very, very little proof that it can.
No, it's a fact that infrasound can change the way your muscles react to things, your brain waves and your eye muscles, the cochlea of your ear. It's a fact that can change your infrasound. So if you have something with a large amount of infrasound being pumped into a room, or for whatever reason generated by something, that can affect your senses and make you believe you're seeing or hearing something.
I'll just say a really, really good book to get if you've not to get you another book, Beardo. Paracoustics by Steve Parsons. It's exceptionally good. So it's called Paracoustics. It's all about infrasound and how and sound basically in the paranormal. So
sound is
it's
vibration
well
at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
that's what your ears pick up. So your eyes, not your eyes, but it can affect vibrations, affect things. And I'll have to look that book up too. So that sounds
Wasn't there a scientist or something like that thought stuff was going on in his lab, and it turned out to be that there was a fan motor or something like that was emitting infrasound, and it caused his brain to vibrate, is what the conclusion he came up with, and that's why he was seeing things.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the guy, but yeah, I do know that story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great question. Did Dan tell you what book he bought earlier? Ask him,
Paranormal
Justin.
investigator.
Did you? Have you?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I was a bit drunk when I bought it. I was paid
Shit.
I was pressured into it by the chat. But I'm going to read it, and I'm going to put a review on Amazon.
Bestseller, #1 on Amazon in the paranormal section. So
I was peer pressured.
It's only got 5 reviews. How was it a bestseller?
To be honest, I think Seg was going to buy this as well. Seg did say he'd buy the Paranormal Investigator book. So
We're all going to end up with a copy of this.
It's going to have 6 reviews in about 3 or 4 days' time.
Like Kimberly Shepherd, don't ever, and this goes for all of us, don't ever be sorry if you can't donate, you can't put anything into the channel. Your time is more than enough for any of us. None of us ever ask for anything. None of us, I don't think any of us even promote memberships or any of the paid services. It's just there if people can do it. None of us promote it, and we don't think any less of people for not being able to do it. It's never been the case with anyone that I interact with on YouTube. So there you go. Right then, gentlemen, the Weeds Brothers are on in 6 minutes. So if we go from Jeff to Justin to Dandalf, just tell them where they can find you guys, and then I'll say goodbye to chat after you've done your little bits.
We are Boo Productions Paranormal Toledo, and it's that same name on everything. We mainly do YouTube and Facebook. Dana does TikTok a little bit sometimes. So that's who we are and where you can find us.
Yeah, Paranormal Monkey Podcast, usually every Monday with a different guest. And please like, share, subscribe. Because I'm the smallest channel amongst all of these guys.
I don't know. Are you?
There we go.
Doesn't make a difference, does it? I mean, I promote Dandalf heavily, but go on, Dandalf.
The World of Mr. Grey. I make anything I really feel like it when I have the time, really. Thinking stuff, gaming stuff, anything that crosses my mind, basically.
Julianne, thank you for the 2, and please don't ever be sorry. And if that was your last $2, I'll think less of you for it. Spend it on yourself. Right, gentlemen, thank you very, very much. I know this is last minute, but I wanted to do something a bit different just before Christmas. Get some
Thank
friendly
you.
No, thank you
banter,
for inviting us.
etc. And hopefully we can do a few more of these. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
I very much enjoyed it.
I got
I've
four.
sobered up.
I
Right,
am
cheers,
gonna-
guys. Go on, Dad.
Do it.
Am I out? Why not?
Right, cheers, guys.
Catch
Bye.
you
Right,
all.
we'll see you.
Yeah.
Right, did I get them all? I got them all. That was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that. Fantastic guests, all people that I speak to away from content creation, good guys, all with very different views on things, which I think is important as well. So the Weech Brothers have a premiere in 4 minutes. So if everybody could please head on over to the Weech Brothers. I have pinned it to the top of the chat there. I know this Friday was a bit different, but I want to do something different. Sort of the last one before silly season is in full swing. We'll have the Tuesday live as normal, but it's Christmas Eve, so I imagine it'll be dead. Don't forget, Not Alone for Christmas on Christmas Day starts 11 a.m. with 3 Spires. I'm going to try and get somebody to make a poster for all of that for me. Any gaming tomorrow, Beardo? Mrs. Geek's last day off tomorrow, so no gaming. I may pull a Sunday shift because she'll be sleeping and I got nothing to do. So I may pull a Sunday shift. But please go check out the Weech Brothers. Please check out the guys that I've had on here tonight. They're absolutely fantastic people, good wholesome people. I really enjoyed that. To have over 400 people in for the majority of it watching. 2 of these channels are very small, but they're such good, nice people. I enjoy getting them some more views as well. I think it's all for the better. So I don't think I have an end screen on you guys, so I am just going to wave an end. Thank you very much, everybody. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic Christmas and New Year if you're not attending any live streams. Much love to you all. Beardo out.